Hey guys, so what's up, travelers? This is actually the first video in the semen retention series. I invite you to watch at least one of the other intro videos to this if you aren't familiar with what separating ejaculation and orgasm is, and raising that energy up to your higher center. So if this makes you say like, what the fuck, I invite you to check part 1 and part 2 of these videos where I talk about why, how, a little bit, and anyways. So onto the exercise, which is a testes breathing. We're just gonna learn how to recognize the cold or yin part of ourself, which is mainly in our balls, in between our testicles, and we're gonna slowly, well, I'm gonna give you kind of like a crash course, because it takes many weeks and months, and you know, it's kind of a lifetime practice if you want, but I'm gonna give you a crash course where you can kind of get an idea of how it looks like. Yeah, again, if you want a full source of info, this is the book where I'm getting the exercises. I'm sure there's some other books, but I like this because, you know, you gather the information from different Taoist masters, which is usually knowledge that is spread like orally and not necessarily in books, and he brought it like to America if you want. So, yeah, I think it's a neat practice and you should check it out. Okay. So you're in a room, it's not too cold, it's not too hot, because you want to be able to keep the energy within yourself. If you can do it naked, or at least with loose pants. There must be no wind, or the wind will kind of like push the energy away. And yeah, I like to have a little, that's just my own little tip, I have a little serpentine stone that I like to put at the tail of my spine, like at my coccyx. You put your feet on the ground so you could absorb the energy from the earth. Well, you know, just put them on the ground with your knees bent, maybe not 90 degrees, maybe 110 or something. Shoulder at, you know, shoulder width, and just your hands on your knees or on your thighs, okay? So first of all, the first step to actually move in the energy is recognizing the energy. Our sexual energy is a cold or yin, feminine energy, if you want. What it is when it's not activated, when we're not excited, it doesn't become hot. So you're just gonna let go of all stress, of all tension that you have before starting the exercise. So let me just breathe a little. Just breathe in and let the air go out by itself. Okay, so you want to have your butt laying on the edge of the chair, right? With your balls hanging, so that you could feel the cold in between your testicles. So as your hands are on your thighs, just try to breathe in, and as you're breathing in, feel the cold energy in your testicles. Feel the energy that you're drawing, kind of like from the earth, but from your testicles, without, you know, using muscle or anything. You know, just use your mind and feel the energy there. As you're inhaling, feel your testicles rising up. Hold it for maybe, you know, you breathe at your cycle, but you hold it maybe for a second just to appreciate it. And then as you're exhaling, let your testicles sink down and like let go of any like accumulated energy or wastes in there. You know, this is just to recognize the energy at first. Once like you're doing it and your balls are like pulsating with your third eye, with like you can feel like your pituitary gland and your balls actually like sinking, and you, as you're breathing, your balls are going up and down, like you know that you've mastered, if you not, maybe not mastered, but you've understood the first step of the exercise. You can recognize the energy within you. Now in the book it says like it could take maybe a day or two, or a week or 2 weeks. It depends on you. For me it went like pretty fast, like just doing it, I had it. So I don't know about you guys. So once you've done that, and you can breathe 9 times, 9 times like that, and then you just, you know, appreciate the energy, kind of bathe in it if you want, because it probably cooled you in some way, or like appreciate like your balls being like that's how I feel like a magnet, and there's a, and you know, that's kind of like your sexual energy getting activated, at least there. That's yin energy, you know. Yin is magnetic, it attracts yang. So appreciate that. You could do 3 to 6 cycles of 9 breaths, you know. So this is the first little step. So once you've been able to do that, maybe like you're gonna feel like you're getting warmer, or you're gonna feel something. Like personally, I feel warmer, and it's like when you're doing it well, like you could feel the energy. Well, I'm further in the exercises, so I feel the energy going all the way up. But you know, just in your balls is a good beginning. And you'll notice as like you're interacting with females of like any age, you know, just any female or yin energy, you're gonna learn to understand it a little better. It's kind of like the feminine intuition, if you want. It's just your yin center being open. You're more receptive to the energies because your balls have become like a magnet or a radio, you know. So okay, second step is actually bringing that cold to your perineum. So the perineum is kind of like the place where you could massage like your prostate without like going anally, you know. It's in between your anus and your balls. So you know, that's really the beginning of moving the energy. So once you know how to recognize it within your balls, as you breathe in now, instead of keeping it in your balls and feeling it there, try to move the cold to that spot. It's called like the $1 million spot. Some people say the spot doesn't exist, but it's not that it doesn't exist. It's that it's not because you press it that you're gonna stop ejaculation, but it is the first spot to move in the energy out of your genitals, if you want. So okay, yeah, you're gonna, as you're breathing in, again, 9 breaths to maybe 3 to 6 cycles, but instead of like keeping it in your balls, at each inhale you bring it to your perineum, okay, and you hold it there. As you're breathing out, you don't exhale the energy. You focus there with your mind, and as long as you focus there, the energy is gonna stay there. That's why it's kind of like a meditation, if you want, and practicing that will like it will give you a lot more will in your life, you know. So yeah, you're bringing that to your perineum, and you're keeping it there for 9 breaths. Once you've done 9, you can just, you know, let go of all the energy. You can sink that, you'll see that it sinks back down in your balls. So yeah, you could practice that for a week or 2, because the next spot is a little bit harder than just moving it from your balls to your perineum. I hate that word. So you have to bring it to your coccyx, or they call it the hiatus sacrum. It's kind of like the spot, if you touch the end of your spine, where there's the first little dent, you know, and this is where you're gonna try to attract the energy. So it's kind of harder to move sexual energy there than normal energy, you know, that you could pour out from your hands, because sexual energy is way more dense. It's almost, etherically, I feel it's almost liquid, you know, just like the sperm is. So it's gonna take a bit more time. It says in the book that you might feel a bit of pain there. That's actually like your sacral chakra, I think, because it just matches the navel. But so it says that some people might feel a little bit of pain, and like maybe little needles, like I didn't feel that, but the advice they give in the book is to use a silk cloth and massage that gently a few times, you know, if it does hurt. So yeah, you're bringing it up to your spine, and as you're bringing it up there, again in 9 breaths, you know, you hold it, and as you exhale, you keep your focus there, and you bring it back, focus, exhale, you know, bring it back, focus, exhale. Once you're able to do that up to your perineum, you could help yourself from the back of your head, because the reptilian brain, if you want, or what is called the jaded gate in the book, you could use it as a sacral pump. You could pump energy up from your sacral chakra, or the sacral spine, if you want. So to do that, you can kind of do as if your back was on a wall, you know, you straighten it up. You might have to curve it outwards a little bit. Yeah. And okay. And you kind of like tilt your neck back a little bit so that you could kind of make yourself feel a little pump doing woo, woo, and pulling on the energy that's down there, and that's gonna help you bring it up your spine, you know. But the next point in the book that they talk is the solar plexus. So this is like the 11th spine, but like I don't know for you guys, but I feel where it is. Like I can feel it, you know. And even if it's not the spine, like you can feel like the energetic round, you know. It's kind of like the middle of the back. It's in front of your solar plexus. So you bring it there, and again, you can help yourself from the sacral pump. And I'd say, like, as you're doing the exercise, like, at first try to see maybe up to where you could go, and then work your way, you know, gradually. Like, this is something that I have to practice more, because I found that I could, like, go all the way from the beginning, so I'm not practicing as much as I should be, you know. Yeah, that you're gonna bring energy to your solar plexus, and then once it's there, it's really, you bring it all up to your sacral pump there. You don't keep it in your heart, you know. You just straight up bring it to your head. And I would say that, like, depending on how easy you are with your heart center, it's how easily the connection is gonna be done, you know. Because your heart center links up your feminine centers to your masculine centers. So if you're trying to raise your energy up to your crown and you have trouble expressing like your yin side, if you have trouble recognizing it or just accepting it, you're gonna have some heart problems, you know. It's not gonna go through as easily. But I think, like, if you've already opened up your heart, you're gonna be able to do this practice like way more easily, you know. What else? Yeah, so you bring it to your sacral, and like once it's there, I don't know actually if there's another center, because once I don't even feel like sticking it there all that much. I just focus on my third eye as I do it, and I feel it coming from the back of my head. So it's kind of like, as I'm drawing the energy, I just try to have like the dual part of my mind on my balls, like the yin side of my mind on my balls, if you want, but I focus on my third eye. So it's just like when you're kind of like drawing the energy up, like I feel like it's a wave that just goes, let's say, from like your balls and coccyx, most likely, like I feel it from my coccyx, and it just does when it goes in my head. And as you're doing the energy, you just focus it 9 times, bring it to the center you're at. You focus maybe for a second, and you let go. And like once you've actually been doing it, bringing the energy up to your head, between the 9 breaths cycle, like you're doing 3 to 6 cycles of 9, between the cycles of 9, you could breathe more rapidly from your, you know, or more shallowly, so your energy doesn't get stuck in your heart and your lungs. So, you know, just so you could like get some good air, get some good energy, because like you're bringing energy, you're holding it, bringing in energy, holding it, focusing it, you know. So you need to take a few breaths, but just do it with a few breaths, you know. Don't breathe deeply, because you're just gonna attract the energy elsewhere. Like it has to just spill back in your body once it's in your head. But yeah, if you haven't make it gone through the heart, you don't need to breathe fast, you know, because it's not gonna go up your heart. It's always gonna spill back down because of gravity, you know, back to your root center, which is Saturn astrologically, and Saturn could be gravity also. What else? I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the first step to learning how to move the energy, like how to recognize and move the energy while it's cold. There's going to be an exercise to learn how to move it when it's hot, but not just yet. The second exercise, which I'm not going to do in this video, is going to be scrotal compression. Again, it's an exercise from the book, which I invite you to read, to truly read like words from like a master at it. I'm just a student sharing like what I know and what I've practiced so far in my experience. So I'd be like interested in knowing like you know, how much time it took you guys to do like certain exercise, like where you're at. And mind you, I don't know, actually, like, I don't like doing milestones like that because I feel everybody's gonna have a subjective experience regardless. So, like, it's not fully how I wanted to express it, but I guess you got it in a way. So yeah, the second exercise is just breathe in air. Don't do it without like fully knowing what to do, but just breathe in air, sticking it in your throat until like you can, and then you just kind of like move it with your muscles and you compress it in your balls and you learn to indulge more heat. And once you've learned how to recognize your cold energy and to move it, you know how to handle heat. Now it's time to learn the third exercise, which is the power lock. And I talked about those other exercises in the intro. So comment, like, subscribe. Come on, guys, do what you want. There's more stuff on the channel about that, about astrology, about consciousness, all kinds of weird shit that you might understand if your yin centers are open. And if not, well, practice that stuff and come back later.